Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Adventure. We've got another intermission episode with Sonic and the Secret Rings. My special guest this time is, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Miguel. I'm the greeter at Walmart.
And now you're the greeter at this video.
Yes, I am. Quite good.
So word on the block is that you have a little bit of experience with this game.
Yeah, it's, how's the best way to describe this gameplay? Okay. Imagine that you were in an auto-scrolling level, except instead of the level scrolling, it was you.
I like that.
Because that's exactly what this game is.
That is, it's like the certain levels from New Super Mario Bros. 2, now that I think about it.
Yeah, well, except the ones from New Super Mario Bros. 2 are just as unplayable in a completely different way.
I don't know, I like the concept and I think it works. It's just, the stage design is a little too technical in Sonic.
And don't get me wrong, I like the concept, I just don't think either game has really executed it that well.
Yeah,
A lot of it has to do with stage design. You have, levels here where you're not really sure where you're going, and that's, they try to remedy this with trails of rings and those little dots. I don't know what those do. I'm pretty sure they do something important.
You can stop time or speed up time.
You see, if that's the case, they should really probably just, slow the gameplay down a little bit. I mean, I know it's Sonic, but hey.
Actually,
Hey, look at that, see? We could have easily avoided that if that thing was flying just a little bit slower.
I encounter a lot of problems in this video because this is my late game ring set, which is way too fast for the early game. Which, that's actually one of the big problems with Sonic and the Secret Rings, is that you can get items and equip them, and they make you go faster, or stuff like that, and you can't modify those attributes without breaking levels.
Yeah, that does sound like that would be a big issue. On the other hand, look at this. I mean, you've missed several of your rings so far. It looks like there's a set number of rings, like the Pac Dots and Pac-Man World. So,
Actually,
I don't know if you're going to be able to get all of them, huh?
It's...
Wait, what?
As you level up in Sonic and the Secret Rings, you're allowed to handle more rings. So that's like the 167 is the max number of rings Sonic can carry. That's not how many are in the level.
Wait, why is that important? Why would they do it like that?
I have no idea. It is so bizarre.
Speaking of bizarre, I mean, this is... I like the enemies in this game. It's not typical Sonic stuff, You've got flying pots here. You've got freaking genies and stuff. That's pretty cool,
I do like the enemies. They are really cool.
But they don't like robots. I mean, robots are awesome, but,
Can't always be robots.
I like how the gameplay just slows down here.
That's I guess you could call it pacing.
Yeah, I mean, okay. You talk about, Donkey Kong Country on occasion as being this very speed-oriented game, and yet here we are in a game that's definitely speed-oriented. I mean, I don't know what it is if it's not speed-oriented, and you have to sidle across the back of a cliff and not fall down to get impelled by spikes, or, I don't know, what in the world's throwing that?
Yeah, and they never hit you. I don't know. I guess they just really have it out for Sonic.
Yeah, who's doing all this stuff? I mean, I guess in maybe a normal Sonic game, I can understand the stage collapsing because you have giant robots running around, and that sounds like the kind of thing a giant robot might do. But in this one, I mean, what the heck's doing all this?
You're, at the beginning of the story, you meet an evil genie, and, he's basically your enemy the entire time, and, he sets Sonic on fire. So Sonic has to beat the game in so much time, or else he just dies from being on fire. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's why on the box his chest has a little, flame thing on it, because the genie set him on fire.
if Sonic goes below like 60 miles an hour, he explodes. I think I saw a movie like that once.
I think it was called Speed 2.
Speed 2? What happened to Speed 1? What's wrong with that?
Nah, I was making it silly. It's, so, if you take the late game ring set into the early levels, it's pretty easy to just get a high rank by virtue of breaking the level.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine so. I mean, that's sort of the problem when you have like a level up aspect in any non-RPG, well, even in RPG games. I mean, did you ever go back like in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and go back and just start playing, you know, earlier areas and you'd run into like, you know, 10 Oombas, which when you first encountered them would own your shit. And this time, they're like, oh, you want to step on me? Well, I guess that's okay, and then they disappear. You know, the battle would be over before it even started.
I think that's on purpose in RPGs, but in Sonic, you don't have a reason to backtrack the way you do in RPGs.
Well, it's a consequence of it. When you think about it, if you have an RPG aspect in your game, then the earlier levels are, by virtue of having some level-up concept, are going to be easier when you get earlier on, when you play the levels that you played earlier.
Yeah. And, well, it's relevant in Mario and Luigi, but certainly not in Sonic.
And it sort of takes away from the game a little bit when you think about it. I mean, you have to restart in order to actually be challenged by the earlier levels anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it seems like there's like a best path you can take in a level, but if you can level up your attributes, then it really isn't, is there? Oh god, he's on a log. That's awesome.
Sonic and the Secret Rings, yeah, its paths are mostly, like, in order to get a good score, you really do have to do the right path. Like, I think in this level I hit a switch by accident, and that takes me on the bad path.
I liked how you were surfing on a log that hit stuff. You, for some reason, didn't fall off of it and die.
He has very good balance, I guess.
Apparently. I guess if you're moving toward at the speed of sound, you'd have to have something in your inner ear to make shit better than most people.
Another reason this game does not work is you saw I had to defeat those enemies to open up those blocks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard to do that if Sonic is constantly moving forward, and there are times where like you absolutely need to do it. So
that is a big issue. I don't know. Some people give Sonic games after Sonic Adventure 2 a lot of hell for, you know, apparently generally sucking. I don't know. I mean, if you can let Sonic Adventure get away with being a good game, then I think Sonic Heroes was probably an even better game. It certainly didn't suck for the most part.
I would agree.
I guess a lot of people didn't like replaying levels again of different characters, but if that's your biggest complaint, you know, if you're not falling through the floor, then I think you're alright.
Yeah, I do think you have a point. Also, this is a part where I have to, like, backtrack because of the brick problem.
The brick problem?
Right, there's a pile of bricks blocking my way, but I have to destroy enemies to move them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Jeez.
And your log just appeared under you, I love it.
No,
I really honestly thought you were just going to drown. What the hell are dinosaurs doing in China? I mean, I understand that there are some really interesting strata in China with dinosaurs in them, but
I don't think this is China.
Well, it's Aladdin, right? Or
yeah.
Yeah, if it's Aladdin, then it's in China, because that's where Aladdin takes place.
I thought that was in the Middle East.
No, that's just the Disney interpretation.
Oh,
the actual story, if you ever read the 1001 Arabian Nights, takes place in China, so, you know.
Oh, well then dinosaurs make perfect sense.
Yeah, they should be dead and, like, fossilized. I think you hit a dinosaur tail. That thing was, like, huge, and you can see it coming a mile away.
Sonic is moving way too fast, though.
Oh my god, it was the dinosaur from Dragon Ball.
There was a dinosaur in Dragon Ball?
God, there are tons of dinosaurs in Dragon Ball, especially Dragon Ball Z. I mean, Piccolo may go on, like, fight those things, like, all the time. It's like, hey, go on. You're going to fight a dinosaur today. And Gohan's like, I don't want to. Well, it's too bad, you little maggot.
Well, I'm glad we fit Dragon Ball into this video.
It's a very important cultural series. And I don't even think Supersonic. I mean, that's definitely Super Saiyan. It's relevant.
Oh man, I should have included the Supersonic fight in this video because it is not at all Supersonic. They came up with weird, like, he gets black or something. It's very bizarre.
I seem to remember something about it. It's been a while.
I also, I like the cutscenes, even if they are kind of lazy. I just like the writing, and the acting's pretty neat.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's a pretty neat way to go about it, you know? It's certainly just as good as maybe Aquaman Battle for Atlantis' cutscenes, but on the other hand, it's not as bad a game.
I like the art style, it's just the animation's real lazy.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. You know, I mean, not every game can be Wario Land, shake it. I mean, if it were, oh man, we would live in a wonderful world.
Are there cutscenes between worlds there?
No, but they did have a cutscene at the beginning and the end. It's pretty cool.
I also want to mention, what we just saw were two, like, big stages, but between them were a bunch of, like, side missions that were really pointless and really dumb.
God,
don't
yeah.
break the pots.
I remember that. It was horrible. It'd be like, oh hey, you play this level for like 10 seconds and then you're done. And you just do that for about half an hour.
Yeah.
That was mostly grinding too, so that was really, I guess, one of the failings in this game, even beyond gameplay.
Anyway, thanks for joining me.
No problem, man. Good to talk to you. I better go back to catching bad guys. I'm Batman.